Okay, good morning student. Now we are studying about the human digestive system. Last class we studied about the first function of the human digestive system, that is the food digestion. So during digestion of the food, complex food molecule, in the food there are some complex organic molecules, carbohydrate, lipid and protein. Insoluble form becomes into simplest form, absorbable form, that is the food digestion. Carbohydrate becomes into monosaccharide, glucose, fructose and galactose. Protein becomes into amino acid and lipid becomes into fatty acid and glycerol. This digestion occurs in the mouth cavity, stomach, duodenum and the small intestine. In the mouth cavity, mechanical food digestion and the chemical food digestion. In the stomach, mechanical food digestion and chemical food digestion. In the duodenum, proximal part of the small intestine, chemical food digestion. And in the small intestine, chemical food digestion. Food digestion completed in the small intestine. Okay. Then what's happened to the digested food? What's happened to the digested food? So digestion of food is completed in which part? In the small intestine. Digestion of food is completed in the small intestine or intestine. Digestion of food is completed in the small intestine. Next, what step? What is the second function? First function of the digestive system is food digestion. Second function is, so by the carbohydrate, end products, monosaccharides, no? Carbohydrate, monosaccharides, end products. That is glucose, fructose, galactose. Glucose, fructose, galactose are the monosaccharides. Lipid, fat and oil becomes into fatty acid and glycerol. Fatty acid and glycerol. And the protein becomes into amino acid. Amino acid, okay? Amino acid. Carbohydrate complex form becomes into simplest, monosaccharide. That monosaccharides are the glucose, fructose and the galactose. Galactose, okay? Then the lipid becomes into fatty acid and glycerol. Fat and oil becomes into fatty acid and glycerol. Protein becomes into amino acid. These are the complex form, insoluble in water. These are the simplest form, can absorb, soluble in water. What happens to the digested food? So second function of the human digestive system is the absorption of digested end product. Absorption of digested end products. Absorption of digested end product. First function, food digestion. Second function, absorption of digested end products. What happens to the digested food? Absorption of digested end products. Absorption occurs. What's the answer for this one? This answer is absorption. Absorption, absorbed. Absorbed. So absorption of food. Absorption of food. In food digestion completed in the small intestine. That's why in this area, digested food is absorbed. Digestion completed in the small intestine, that's why in this area, in the small intestine, digested food is absorbed. So in small intestine, digested food is absorbed. In the small intestine, digested food is absorbed. For this, there are many adaptations in the small intestine. Small intestine is the long one, long tubular structure. They are folded. Then the villi, microvilli present. And also these are some adaptations which are found in the small intestine for the absorption of the digested food. Long structure, long tube, folded one, villi, microvilli, and the blood capillaries associated, lacteal associated. These are some adaptations to absorb the digested food that occurs in the small intestine. Villi. When considering the villi, this is the epidermal part. Then this is the lymphatic duct. From the lymphatic duct, there is a lacteal form, particle and lacteal. How do we call this? This is the lacteal. Okay, this one is the villi. One villi I mentioned in this diagram. This one is the lacteal. These are the blood capillaries network. These are associated with the villi, which are found in the small intestine. These are so the digested food comes from this region through the small intestine. This is found in the small intestine. So these blood capillaries absorb the carbohydrate end products. That means monosaccharides, glucose, fructose, and galactose. Glucose, fructose, and galactose. Glucose, fructose, and the galactose. These are formed from the carbohydrate. Carbohydrate mean so starch, sucrose, lactose, maltose. These carbohydrate becomes into simplest form. These are monosaccharides. Monosaccharide insoluble form becomes into soluble form. These soluble form absorbed by the blood capillaries associated with the villi that are found in the small intestine. So blood capillaries absorb the glucose, fructose, galactose, end product of the carbohydrate, monosaccharide, and also amino acid. Protein digestion from the amino acid. That amino acid also absorbed by these blood capillaries, and vitamins, minerals, these are absorbed. So blood capillaries associated with the villi absorb the monosaccharide, glucose, fructose, galactose, and the amino acid, vitamins, and minerals. And then this blood capillaries form the special type of the blood vessel, that is the hepatic portal vein. It carries the digested food in digested end products, from small intestine to liver. சிறுகுடல்ல இருந்து ஈரலுக்குள்ள carries the digested end products in high concentration, because absorption occurs. That's why in the blood in high concentration these monosaccharides, amino acid, vitamins, and minerals absorb and form the blood vessel. From this blood capillaries form the hepatic portal vein from intestine to liver. Now that digested end products reach the liver. Then there is a lacteal related with the green color. This one is the lacteal. That structure is the lacteal. This lacteal absorb the end products of the lipid, fat and oil, end products, fatty acid and glycerol. That fatty acid and glycerol absorb the, so now digested food comes in this way. So lacteal absorb the fatty acid and the glycerol. Lacteal means பாட்கலன்கள் related with the lymphatic system. நன்னீர் தொகுதியோட தொடர்பான பாட்கலன்கள் என்று சொல்லுவோம். Blood capillaries absorb in this case fatty acid and glycerol absorb the lacteal பாட்கலன். Then first this lacteal this fatty acid and glycerol circulates with the lymph. There are two circulatory systems in our body. One is the blood circulatory system, other one is the lymphatic system. In the blood circulatory system, blood circulates blood. In the blood circulatory system, which one circulates blood? That is the fluid. In the lymphatic system, circulates lymph. அதாவது குருதி சிட்டோட்ட தொகுதியில சுற்றி ஓடுறது குருதி, lymphatic system நிணநீர் தொகுதியில சுற்றி ஓடுறது நிணநீர். ஆகவே இந்த blood capillaries absorb the monosaccharides, amino acids, vitamins, minerals. So first reach the blood and goes to the small intestine to liver. First these substances absorbed by the blood capillaries, first in the blood circulatory system. But the lacteal absorb fatty acid and glycerol. Fatty acid and glycerol circulates first with the lymph. நிணநீரோடு தான் சேர்ந்து ஓடும். First in the lymphatic system, in the certain instance, it reaches the blood circulatory system. When we studying about the blood circulatory system, we can, in which instance that fatty acid and glycerol reach the blood, we can study the blood circulatory system and in the lymphatic system about this. Okay. Now, blood capillaries absorb what? Digested end products. And the lacteal absorb which? Digested end products. This is the absorption of the digested end products that occurs in the small intestine. First function of the digestive system is digestion of food. Second function is absorption of digested end products, digestion completed in the small intestine. That's why absorption of the digested end products that occurs in the small intestine. Third function of the human digestive system is the removal of undigested food. Removal of undigested food, third one. So by blood capillaries, you have to know these are absorbed. These are absorbed. Amino acid, vitamins, mineral salts, monosaccharides, glucose, fructose and galactose. This blood capillaries make which blood vessel? Hepatic portal vein. From goes which organ to which organ? Small intestine to liver. So blood capillaries absorb these digested end products. And the lacteal associated with the lymphatic system, no? So in the villi, there's lacteal absorb fatty acid and glycerol. These are the end products of lipid, fat and oil. Fatty acid and glycerol absorbed by the lacteal, circulates with lymph first, then reach a certain instance with the blood circulatory system. Now blood capillaries in small intestine, a vein is formed. Okay, a vein is formed, carries digested food in high concentration. Digested food in high concentration. From the small intestine, blood capillaries absorb the digested end product and consist digested end products in high concentration, form a blood vessel. What is the name for that blood vessel? That is the hepatic portal vein. Hepatic portal vein. This is the blood vessel join small intestine and the liver. Okay. Lacteal, fatty acid and glycerol circulates with the first in the lymph. Then reaches the blood in a certain instant. You can study in the blood circulatory system and in the lymphatic system. Then undigested food. Digestion of food, absorption of digested food. Third function of the human digestive system is removal of undigested food. Undigested food goes from small intestine to large intestine. Small intestine to large intestine. Small intestine to large intestine, undigested food goes. There's large intestine, water absorbed from the undigested food. Water absorption occurs. Passes from small intestine, large intestine, water absorption occurs in the large intestine. Now, undigested food becomes into semi-solid form. That undigested food becomes into semi-solid form, undigested food reaches the rectum. There's rectum that is temporary. There's a sphincter is found in the anus. By the contraction and relaxation of the sphincter, the undigested food goes to the external environment. That is the defecation, malum necal, by the anus. Anus send the undigested food. This is not the waste. So anus is not an excretory organ. Undigested food is not a waste. So undigested food by absorption of which one? Water. Where this occurs? In the large intestine. So semi-solid form feces is formed. Semi-solid அரைத்திண்ம feces malum உருவாகின்றது in the large intestine by the absorption of water molecules from the undigested food. So feces reach. Now that feces reach from large intestine to rectum. Undigested food is the feces. Reach from large intestine to rectum. பெருங்குடலிலிருந்து நேர்குடலுக்கு மலம் வந்து சேருகின்றது. Anus send out the feces. இந்த மலத்தை வெளியேற்றுகின்றது. That is the defecation. Defecating என்று சொல்லுவோம். This is the organ. This is not an excretory organ. Only send out the undigested food feces. Then the feces. Feces is the undigested food, not the waste. Feces is the undigested food, not the waste. Digestion occurs in the tubular structure, alimentary canal. Digestion occurs not in the cell, only that occurs in the tubular structure. This tubular structure, food digestion occurs. This is not the metabolism. That's why undigested food is not the waste. Waste form during the metabolism. Metabolism occurs in the cells. That digestion occurs in the digestive passage. Digestive tract, that is the alimentary canal. So this is not the metabolism. So undigested food, not waste. Digestion occurs in tubular structure, not metabolism. So anus is not an excretory organ because it sends out only the undigested food feces. Okay. In our body, excretory organs are lungs, skin and the kidney. Lungs, skin and kidney are the excretory organ. Anus is not an excretory organ. Diseases associated with the human digestive system. What are the diseases and disorders related with our human digestive system? One is the gastritis, then constipation, typhoid, diarrhea, idapayalachi, gastritis, constipation, malachical, typhoid, neruppu kaachal, diarrhea, whitewater. These are some diseases associated with our digestive system. So, to maintain the healthy life, maintain healthy habits, healthy life is important because we have to live happy without any diseases. That's why good food habits is important. In this way, we can maintain our healthy body and can live with happy. Then we can study about next competency level related to human respiratory system. We can study about it in next class. Thank you.